Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Chaos to Calm Budgets. This is my channel where I am documenting our way out of £76,000 worth of debt. Today's video is setting up for March. I love these videos. I love it when we are setting up for the month and putting all of our money where it needs to be. So thank you for joining me on this. So to start with, just so you know where we're at, for March, we are cash stuffing £600 for food, £80 for fuel, £175 for fun. The fun is broken down to, we're doing a murder mystery at home, and I cash stuff. I'm going to budget for £75 for that. I don't think we're going to need it, but I want to make sure that we've got it just in case, and that's just to cover sort of food and fuel because it's at home anyway. Sort of any sort of decorations or costumes or anything like that, but be a fun evening nonetheless. I am doing Limitless brunch coming up this month. That was £60 that I've put aside for that. That's a bit of a birthday thing with my best friend. I know it's the year of birthday stuff that's never going to end, but yeah, it's still fun nonetheless. So Mother's Day, I budgeted for £40. I do budget for presents anyway, as you will see when I put in my placeholders for birthdays and occasions. So that will cover kind of gifts for Mother's Day. But this is for, I'm going to do an afternoon tea set up at home for my mom and my sisters and their respective families and other halves, that sort of thing, because my younger sister is on maternity leave, so her budget is very limited, so we're not going to go out for dinner, and I just said let me host something at ours. And I love to bake. It's one of my little hobbies, and it's something I'm quite good at, to be fair. So yeah, I'm going to do like an afternoon tea spread, which will be lovely to have. So I've just put a little bit of extra in there to cover sort of ingredients and whatnot. So that's what I've done. The one thing I haven't put on here, and I will put it in today, we got £130 back from our Virgin credit card. So from my last video, you would have known that we got a consolidation loan to clear off our credit cards because the amount of interest we were paying was sickening. So it was a lot better. We got a really good offer on a loan, so we just bit the bullet and did it. Covered all of our credit cards. So I paid off all of the amount on the Virgin credit card, and for some reason we got an interest adjustment of £130 back. It was £130 plus a couple of pennies or whatever, 131 plus a couple of pennies or whatever. What I wasn't expecting, which actually is falling really well, because the one thing I didn't do when I was budgeting out our month and what we needed to put where was, we did have a meal out, and we actually have had that meal out last night, but I won't talk about expenses in this video. This is just purely setting up and making our pots add up and put money where it's supposed to go. So I'll do that in a next video. But I'm going to use that basically for the meal out that I didn't equate for, so as extra. Technically I could have put it towards more debt, but we still had this plan anyway, so I needed to find the money from somewhere. That's where I found it from, so that's fine. We're going to have £130 of cash, which I've already spent some of that already because I've had my nails done. I've gone significantly shorter this time. I do love getting my nails done. I say on my previous videos, it's my non-negotiable. It's the one thing I do for me every month, and I get to have a play with different designs and stuff like that. So I've gone very springy this time. Yeah, I love it. And I've gone shorter because I'm doing a lot of typing and a lot of writing, so I needed to just keep them quite short this month for that reason, because I'm doing an assignment for my apprenticeship. I'm not going to go into it. I've signed up for something that I'm like, it's killing me off, but I've signed up for it. I'm committed. I'm going to do it. Is what it is. So yeah, we've got £130 of cash, or slightly less now, and then I've calculated £2,590 in placeholders to go in our various sinking funds on our different pots. So yeah, we're going to do all of that today, which is good. What else was there? Oh yeah, that doesn't include the £130, so I'm going to put that in as extra. I'm there. So yeah, that's where all of our money is going to. I don't think I have set goals for this month. Let's have a look. So we can, that's February. We'll get rid of that. That's all done. Yeah, I haven't done my review, but I will do that after this video, I think, just to spend some time. I put a couple of ones down. So I put a review and remind myself of yearly goals and aims, because when I went back and had a look at what we wanted to achieve this year, I wasn't sticking to what I wanted to do. So I need to make sure that I'm constantly reflecting back to go, no, these are the goals. This is what we wanted to set ourselves up for this year. So we could just keep us focused. Still haven't switched the bank account, but I have got Mr. B to agree that we will do it. We'll probably do it this weekend, because with the switch of the bank account, I'm going to go to Monzo. We've already got single accounts with Monzo anyway, but we're going to move our joint accounts. This is where all of our pay goes in and then all of our direct debits go out. That comes out of the joint account. I think Monzo, are a better provider in terms of their app and their pot system, and lots of different clever ways on their app. We're with Halifax. We have been with Halifax for years, which is why we were very and ahhing about moving bank accounts, because we've got a reputation there. However, their app is really rubbish. They don't offer off as much, and on the rewards kind of account, or the additional whatever, the premium account that they offer at Monzo, we get more back essentially. So I think we pay an extra £5, but we get cinema passes with that every month. We get rail card, which is one of the things that I wanted to sign up for, because having a yearly rail card for family and friends, so that will cover us as a family. I've already purchased this year's Travel 2 Together rail card, because it just makes sense. Like this last night alone, we got a train to go out for this meal, and we saved a tenner on those by having a £35 rail card for the year. So all we've got to do is do a couple more trips, which we will do, no doubt, on a train, and yeah, we'll get that covered. So I'm going to have a think about what other 2 goals I'm going to set myself for. I didn't also write in, and I haven't calculated at the bottom yet to see what difference I've got, so I might do that right now actually while we're on camera. So Mr. B's wage hadn't changed. I had held off because he sometimes gets a pay rise in January with his bonus, but he thinks because it hadn't changed, so I'm just going to put that down. Was it that amount? 214,170. Double check from the previous month. Yeah, 214,170. It hadn't changed this month, so we are expecting probably his pay rise to come in April. It's like a cost of living pay rise. So what we have coming in added up is £3,660. So that's my wage, already deducted my car payment. As some of you will know, I have a lease car through work. It made sense to. I won't go into the benefits and the pros and cons of it, but it is what it is. Then the child benefit of £173.20 has gone in. My little man's DLA money has gone in. I do add that in because we've got expenditures for my son already set up on direct debits, and we also put money aside in a savings pot purposely for what he needs. So I do add that in. So that's a total of £6,402.40 there. We have all of our food, fuel and fun budget of £855 going out, our short-term sinking funds of £124, medium term at £340, and our long-term of £1,100. We also put £100 in for kids' investment, so that goes into a Trading 212 account that my husband manages, so I do need to get that across to him and send that to him. I'll make a little note of that soon. And that gives, so those expenditures are 2,519, which I add into here. What I am going to do is add up all of these and see what difference hopefully it adds up and it equates. So we've got £726.20 in our mortgage payment. Then the Tesco bank loan of £225.52. We've then got our kitchen loan with Magnet interest free at £341.16. We then do a bedroom furniture loan because we had fitted furniture put into my kids' bedrooms. That's interest free, but that's £127.77. A dining table loan, interest free. It's a little pesky loan. I just want to get to the point where I can get that cleared off. Our now new credit card loan that we had of £461.08. Then we've got my memorial ring payback to my mom, and also the loan from my mom for my daughter's Invisalign. So that's £209.75. It's my last payment for my memorial ring back to my mom. And then what I'm going to do is up the £100 loan for the Invisalign to 200 next month, so that we pay her back quicker. Like that. So we've already spoken about it, so that's the plan from next month. I've then got £139.61 with EE, so that covers our mobile phones, our mobile phone bills for 3 of us, me, my husband and my daughter, and our broadband. So that will go down once we finish paying off our handsets, but that's what it is in total. Our gas and electricity bill is actually going to be £200. So I'm not gonna write it in yet because I normally just write it in when it goes out, but I did email them because they wouldn't let me reduce on the app to where I think it should be. So I had to email and contact, and they have agreed to drop it to £200. Yes, we are in debit at the moment, but we are in the winter months and we will make that back up over the summer. Our year goes from when we moved into this house, October, to the end of September. And some of you will know from my previous videos, I'm really passionate about gas and electricity companies not holding credit, because it's them holding the interest and they're making the money from it, and I don't agree with that. They offer a direct debit to cover the full year's coverage, and make sure that it all adds up. So if we go from October to the end of September, when we have our review, and I make sure that it balances out and I keep a good eye on it every month. So yeah, got them down to £200, so that's where I want to be. Water of £107.36. This is rates, but actually that going straight into savings, which I've already added in to savings. I do wonder whether I added in the savings. No, I think I did it separately. I did do it separately. So water, it's going into savings because we are in a 4-month break. We pay water rates 8 months out of 12. So that's going into pay for our 2026 holiday. The same for our council tax break. We pay 10 months. So we've got 194. I expect in April that both those will go up. It's what it is. Our TV licence of £15. Specsavers for my husband's contact lenses, that's £19. Our bank account fee for all the extra coverage we get, £19. And then life insurance at £76.11. That's life and critical illness for me and my husband, so that's why that's quite expensive. Although I probably will have a review of that again soon. £18.37 for the car tax for my husband's car. Dental plan, this gives us a coverage of 2 dental checkups and 2 hygienist appointments per year for 4 of us. Yes, we were with NHS. We kept getting mixed around with appointments with NHS and funding issues and things like that. So for the sake of my sanity, really, we've gone private, and it's a good provider. So £58, it is what it is. £22.90. Oh, I've just done 22. I'll just put the 0.90 in there like that. That is for the NHS prepayment prescriptions for me and my husband. Both of us take standard antidepressants. I'm not going to hide that from anybody because I think it's quite standard, and given the challenges that we face in our lives in relation to additional needs with my son, it's the leveler that we both need. It's a low dosage of sertraline. It works for us, and it's better for us to have the NHS prescription because it basically covers that, and then any additional prescriptions we have throughout the year is already covered. So that's that. My little man's swimming, it's £67. His football at £25 per month. My daughter's kickboxing at £22.25. And my son's drumming at school is £44.68 for the month. My daughter's guides at £11 a month, that's her subs. The National Trust, we pay £14.05 for. Our Apple One subscription, this covers for our, because we don't use a gym or anything, we work out at home, so we use Apple Fitness, but we also get storage, we get games, arcade, we get, and that's for, it's a family pass as well, so it covers all of us. So I think that's a really good deal. Apple TV as well is one of them. We do get the £30, sorry, we pay £30.97. We do pay for the higher end of Netflix, but we allow access for my mother and father-in-law. They give us £5 back as well. My mum also accesses it, but then we use her Prime, so it kind of evens it out itself out. I'm sure they will find a way of us stopping doing that and allowing us to do that, these companies, but while we can, we will. £15 for my kids' pocket money. My Mounjaro injection, I did go over that in my last video, did I? For those that might not have heard previously, I do take Mounjaro. I do want to step down off it. I will be stepping down from it. However, the price of the 15mg dosage was pretty much the same as the 12.5. So I've decided to do 2 further months at 15mg, but then I am going to try day down off it. I've got about a stone more to go, so that's my aim. I want to where I want to be. So yeah, I can't afford to keep paying £299. It's gone incredibly expensive now. So the kids Amazon, which I think we're going to look to close, but I'm leaving that to my husband to make a decision of. My daughter doesn't have like a Kindle Fire anymore. My son doesn't really use the access to the Amazon kind of thing on their tablets. So I did ask and say, do we still need it? We also have an ink prescription as well with HP. I did up it. This is the last of the upped one because I did a lot of printing over the Christmas period for a gift for my daughter, but also because of my studying, I like to print off things to read. I can't read off a screen. So yeah, I upped it, but next month I have decreased it because I don't need the number of pages that we pay for anymore on that. So that's that, £20.48 with both of them together. Lottery, I budget for £20 a month because, and it's never usually £20 a month, but sometimes it is when it's a 5-week month. So I just do the £20 and then any extra comes back, then it will go somewhere else. So it's fine. £20, and then adding in the savings pots there and the food for fuel fund money, which is £2,519, which adds up to 6,486, which when you add that and compare it, I've got, so if I do the 6 minus the 6402.40, I am difference of £1.54 there. So brilliant, it adds up, it all makes sense as long as I don't overspend. So that's that one. So all being well, we should be on track. Let's get to the actual stuffing. And when I do this stuffing, I'm going to stuff everything first, and then I'm going to have a look at where I have IOUs, because obviously you'll see in my previous videos, I borrow from Peter to pay Paul essentially. So where I might have spent on, say, subscriptions for insurances or anything like that, and there might not be enough money in that pot, I borrow from a different pot, make sure I leave a little IOU in there, and yeah, we make it work that way. So let's start with our very short-term one. There was £25, but that has been spent because he did have a session yesterday. So this is for the one-to-one sessions that my son does. So this is where we use some of his DLA and some, basically. He does an awful lot because essentially he's got various interests, but I'm going to put £100 in there. He needs particular clubs that can meet his needs essentially. So that's that one. My daughter needs £24 and that is in the cash. So let's just double check the cash here. I've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95 and then a load of change there. I needed 130. I budgeted 30 for my nails, but I spent 32, but I did have a few extra quid in there anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So we're going to put in 20 there, and the reason it's 24, so £4 is for her tuck. 1, 2, 3 and 4. £4 is for her tuck money. But yeah, so that's that. So it's £1 a week for a tuck money. And then she's got a trip that she signed up for, a camping trip, their summer one. She was a bit and ahhing about doing it and going, but I want her to do it because it's really good character building. And she has opted to do it. One of her friends from Guides is doing it. So I'm starting to put money in there to pay in the remaining amount. I think it's about another 80 I think we've got to pay before, so I'm putting in £20. She might pay that by month, or I might just let it accumulate and then pay it, and I need to put a little bit of a tracker I think in there to make sure that I am on track, so I'll do that off camera I think. Double check the amount that we owe. Right, food, £600 to go in here, so we'll start off with 3 and then we'll do 100 for 4. We'll do a couple of 50s, 450, 5 and then some 20s I think. 20, 40, 60, 80 and 6. So £600 normally works out to about £150 a week for a 4-week month. And that normally works. We do a big shops at the beginning. I have done my big shop already, so we'll, on another video, we'll make the balances add up. Yeah, so we have a big sum go out at the beginning of the month, but then less budget per week for the rest of the food, because that's how it works. It does work out that way. It's a real good money saver really. So fuel, £80 to go in there. I'll do 20s for that. 20, 40, 60 and 80. That normally lasts us, because works out to about £20 a week to top up my husband's fuel. I've got an electric car, so that's covered by charging at home and part of our gas electricity bill and things like that, so that works out well. And then fun, it's 175 plus the 130 extra, so I'm going to add that in. 175 plus the 130, 305. So we'll do a 300. I'm just going to put it in as 300 and then I'll break it down after, just because I want to make sure I've got enough denominations to go in all of the different wallets as we go through. So that's the daily kind of usage one. This is the medium term one. So haircuts, we put in £80 a month. This covers a build up of money for when I do my haircut and my daughter's haircut, because we go every 12 weeks or so, a bit longer for my daughter. My husband and my son go every month, and it's £30 for both of those to get their hair done. So 80 to go in today. So this is where I need to get my change out. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, and then we'll put 5 in cash. And I'll get my husband to use this today, because I don't like to carry coins in my wallets, or too many coins, because it will rip them. So that's 3, and then 250s there is 4, and then 20, 40, 60, 80 and 5 there. What I might do actually is I'm going to keep it out of the wallet, because they are literally going to be going for their hair appointment in the next hour or so. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 and 20 there for their haircut. So I'll put that to one side. And then we've got left building up 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, brilliant. And I think I'm due an appointment in April. So we'll have another load going in at the beginning of April. So that will be plentiful to cover my haircut. So that's that one. Nails, nothing left because it's already been spent. House, £50. So this is household maintenance. So this is for when we need the odd bit to repair something in the house or to make something a bit better in the house. I want to try and build up this fund to get some pots and pans. So hopefully we won't be tapping into it, or only a little bit if we are. So that'll be that. So beauty, which is skincare and makeup. So that's 30 going in there. Don't think I'm in anything of a need, so we may be using some of this for our pound challenge throughout the month. We'll see how we get on, but yeah, I'm generally doing okay for makeup and skincare at the moment after a big hauls at the beginning of the year, so that's okay. £50 for clothing. Again, not really planning to need any clothes. If anything, I might get my daughter like a thinner coat, like a waterproof thinner coat for when we go to Paris, because it will be springier weather, where I think we'll still need a coat, but not a big coat, and something but that will still be waterproof just in case it rains. So I might get her that. I'll have a chat with her about it and see what she thinks, and then go from there. £50 for birthdays and occasions. So this will cover Mother's Day this month. I don't have any birthdays that I'm aware of in my planner, so that's that one. Family fun. So this is the £20 that goes into this one. This is just for if we decide to have a cheeky takeaway or just treat ourselves to an ice cream when we're on a day out or something like that. It's just there. Otherwise it might cover where we might have overspent in a different category, and the miscellaneous very similarly, just in case we've overspent anywhere or not accounted for anything. So it's 30 that goes into the miscellaneous pot. So there's our medium term ones. Right, now for our long term ones, which is where a lot of the IOUs are. So I'm going to stuff them first and then go back through them. So that's our pound challenge there. Car maintenance is £50 to go in here. Again, I'm just going to add it in. I know there's an IOU, but I'll go back through in a minute. So £50 to go into that one. Then phone repair gets 20. So I am saving for my screen repair to get an authentic screen fixed with Apple, to keep its value. So that's £20 in there. Travel money 150, so a little bit more in this month because we do have our Paris trip looming. And I also go to Switzerland not long after that as well with a friend, a little bit of another 40th birthday celebration. So adding in there. Right, these are where I put in 180 plus the savings from our water rates and our council tax. So I'll add those up. So it's 180 plus the 107.36 plus the 194, which is 481.36. I'm just going to put 480 in terms of the placeholders because of the lower denominations. So we'll put in the 300, the 400 and the 50. Oh, we're going through all our placeholders here. This will probably all change anyway when I go through it. The 50, 60, 70 and 80 goes in there. Again, I'm just going to pop in for now and then do the whole IOUs after. Our anniversary trip we're off to Barcelona. We have paid for it. That is £100. Yeah, it goes there. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. But I think we ended up using our holiday fund to pay for that because we didn't have the money in here built up yet. But this should cover our spending money as well and all of other expenses as well. So that's why I put £100 in every month. And then the 40th birthday trip at the end of the year when we go to Antigua. So this is, I'm just seeing if I can condense down. So it's 100 that's going into there. I'm not sure I've got enough placeholders, so let's go with it. Oh, I've only got the 500s there. I might need to go back to, yeah, let's go back to our holiday fund, see if we can condense it down to get some of the denominations back. Seems to be the one that's got the most in it. So we've got 1,000 there, and then we've got 200, 300, 300, 600, 700 and 90. So what can we do to, we probably could, I've got the 500, no I haven't, so I could do with, let's think, that's 400, no, so that's not 500, so I'm going to have to do that, I think, to begin with, and put a 500 in. And we'll put 300 back there and the 200 in there. And then if we do any more condensing here, I can do the 200 there, put the 100 back in there, and then I'll do, change those two 10s for a 20, so that condenses it down. It's all going to change in a minute anyway, but it just makes it easier to keep everything where it needs to be, and I know what's happening, otherwise I'm going to get myself all confused. The 100 is there, I'll leave that there. So I need to put 100 now into this one. Christmas also gets 100. But I might be able to change that to 300 now. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's change that to 300. So we'll keep the 100 denominations there. My little man's DLA gets 200. So we'll do that. What have we got in here so far? 550. So just another 200 there. We can't condense that down anymore at the moment. So that's that one. And then we get subscriptions for 100. So this covers insurances, anything we pay up front for, because if we pay by month, we end up paying more. So we let that build up. And then £100 for emergency, which I have no more hundreds for. What do I have in here so far? Probably not a lot, because I have been borrowing a lot from it. 50, 60, 70, 75. And then I need 100 to go in there. So we'll do 20. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's okay for now, because like I said, we'll go back through and we'll sort out these IOUs and see where I can bring money back from wherever. I'm going to start from the beginning through. So any IOUs in car maintenance, there is. What have I got in here that I need to pay back? So skincare and beauty, I need to put in £15. Okay, so I need to get a little notepad here. So I need to move £15 from skincare to car maintenance. I'll do it now in terms of the physical, but this is just to remind myself of where I put where and what, so that I can make my Monzo pots add up. So skincare is in this one, I believe. Yeah, beauty. So I need to £15 left in there. I'll put that back into my placeholder there, and then I need to add in the £15 into this. 2 and 3, 15, but then I can condense it down to that 20 there. So then we've got the 250, 60, 75 in there, building up for any car maintenance things. So that one goes, screw that one up into the bin. Right, nothing in the phone repair, nothing in travel spending money. Do have some in the holiday fund because it was the largest one. So I need to put in, let's go from top to bottom. There is the £440 from the top cash back and my husband's little gaming thing that he's doing. I haven't got that money yet, but I will look to withdraw that as soon as I can to pay back. £640 from the £1 challenge. Let's do that to begin with because there is some money in here. I can move a solid £200, so we can take that one down. And we'll put that into the holiday one. Holiday, there we go. £200 is going in there. So we'll do the move. 200 from £1 challenge to 2026 holiday. Then I can take that one down to 440 owed. Then I need £5 from household, which is in here. Plus maintenance. So I need to put 45 into there. I'm not sure I've got enough denominations. Let's have a look. 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. Right. What I'm going to do is put it on a little bit of paper. And then when I can, I'll replace it. So it's £45 in there. As soon as I've got enough denominations, I will replace that. So we then need to put £5 from household to holiday. And we'll cross that one off. And then £60 from the anniversary one, which is... That's a discussion between my husband and my son about their hair appointment. Yeah, so anniversary trip, I need to put in 60. So I've got 20, 40 and 60 to go into there. And what I'll do is I'm going to take them out, so I'm going to see what condensing I can do. And from anniversary to 2026 holiday. Move these round in the Monzo pot when I can. I can cross that one off. It's nice when things start evening out again. So what have we got here? We've got, no, that's a 200, 1,000, 500, 600 and 700, 900, 1,950, 70, 90, that's 2,100, 2010, 2030, £2,050. So we can move all of these out. I think I've got another 1,000. Lovely. So 2,050 should be in that pot. And I've got all of these placeholders to put back into their rightful places. Love it when a plan works out. 20s are all there. And then that means I could probably go back now and change up that bit of paper. I had to do it that way, otherwise I would have got myself in a right muddle. Right, and then this little tracker can go back in here. And then I will change up while I remember that little bit of paper that I do not need anymore. Where is it? There. In household. Put £45 in. Placeholder there now. 20, 40, and then the 5. Lovely. There we go. Right, so next IOU, 40th birthday trip. I owe this one, I'm not sure I can cover this now, £95 from the anniversary trip. Let's have a look what I've got left, because I don't think I took everything out of there. I think it's 60, isn't it? No, 40. I took 60, so let's put 40 then, and take that down to 55 owed. Anniversary trip, £55. And then I'm also moving £40 from anniversary to, what am I moving it to? Let's have a look. The 40th birthday trip. Right. Goes in there, that adds in there. Right, condensed time, 100, 200, 300, 400, 550 and 90 there. There's 90 there. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500. Lovely. Just the IOU. Wonderful, that's that one then. And then Christmas, no IOU in there. A little man's DLA. So from subscriptions, we owe £265. There's 100 in there at the moment from subscriptions, so we'll take that out. And then I'll take that down to an IOU. Put a nice little bit of paper in there. IOU, £165 from subs. So we'll go in there with that. Get rid of that bit of paper. And that then is altogether 500, 600, 700, 850. Now let's see if I can, we've got 300 placeholder, 200 there. No more 300, so I'll take a 200 and put that one back. Bounce that down. So 500, 600, 700, 850. So we are saving for my little man to have a private assessment done because the waiting lists are far too long via the NHS. So we're fortunate enough that we can put DLA money aside for that. Nothing left in there. And then emergency fund, there's a fair bit that's owed here, I think. So anniversary trip's £175. I don't think there's anything left in there now because I've already gone through from the other pots. Where's it gone? Yeah, anniversary trip, nothing left in there, so that's fine. I owe £165 from subscriptions, which again I think isn't there at the moment. Nope, nothing there. And then £60 from household, so that's back into this one. And again, that won't be everything from it. Yeah, not building this pot up, am I, for my pots and pans? We'll get there. So I can take 45. So I'll take that. there. And then it leaves me with 15 that's owed. There. I need to add in 45 here. I don't know why I did it that way. We'll do that and then we'll condense it down to what we've got. Yeah, we've got loads. Right, 50, 20, 40, 6. Oh, no. I think these are all 10s then, aren't they? 10s and 5s. Yeah. Put those 20s there. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's do this. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 10, 15 and 20. 220. So I don't think I've got a 200. No, I do. 200 and 20. Put this away. Twenties all there. They're all 20s. In fact, the 20 should go in that one. There we go. And then 10s go in there. And then the 5s go in there. There we go. 220. 50s in the next one. 100s in the next one. Work out there? Yeah. 500 because I don't have any others denominations that can have its own little. There we go. So yeah, 220 goes into there. Let's do a neater IOU. IOU £175 from anniversary trip. IOU 165 from subscriptions. And then I owe you £15 from household. Add that one in. Goes in there. And just a little note on here of 45, yeah. £5 from household to emergency. And that is that. That's everything. It's a little bit faffy, but we got there in the end, and I feel all set up and ready to go for the month. Have a wonderful week or a few days before I do my next video, and I will see you very, very soon. Have a great month. Take care. Bye-bye.